If you are an independent contractor, structuring deals is by far the most important thing when you are very good at what you're doing. Because you cannot take on unlimited work because you didn't create some sort of SaaS company or some sort of let's say product that can be sold a million times. No, you are selling your labor for someone else's product. And I still have my business that is working to increase the revenues, whoever's business that I'm going into, but they're hiring me as an independent contractor. So I could charge $100 an hour and I would make good money doing that. But instead, I'm trying to think of how can I make the most leverage move and have the most outsized returns if what I do works really well to where I'm not capped and actually make a lot less money if I don't perform. This type of deal really only works if what you're doing has a direct impact on the actual revenue of the business, which mine does. I'm taking over all of their funneling, all of their organic media, all of their lead magnet stuff. I'm actually impacting the revenue. So what I'm doing is I'm taking anything over what they are currently doing, I'll get 20% of. Eventually, I'd like to increase that percentage, get some sort of equity deal in there. But right now, I'm more so excited with the type of people that I get to work with doing this because I'm also structuring the deal as a favor because I'm saying, hey, I know that you are very busy. I don't want to take on any more work for you. I actually want to decrease your workload, but drastically increase the results. So you're hiring another business owner to do what you know you could hire in-house, but I'm going to train your employees. I'm going to show you who to hire, who needs to be put in there. I'll bring my own in-house team. I'll do everything. Start to finish, all I'm going to do is take a percentage of the revenue that I create you. So you have zero risk, but all unlimited upside. And that's a very attractive deal for the counterpart that I'm working with, but also me. I think if you're an independent contractor and you've gained some sort of very high skill, let's say it's some sort of coding or something like that, you could structure some sort of different deal where you could get equity or you could get some sort of performance-based paycheck to where you could be making, let's say, 5 to 10 grand a month, which is still good money. But my goal is how can I maximize the leverage to where I can work with as few people as possible to free up as most of my time while trying to grow a business that can automate this at the same time making the largest outsized returns if what I do actually works. So I'm just trying to think is how can I get as much leverage as possible? And for me, this is, I think, the best way as of right now. Eventually, I think it would be buying equity. The more I do this and the better I get, I'll be able to increase my terms because if I was the best in the world at what I'm doing, someone would probably give me 20% equity just to start working with them. Because I know people like that who run SaaS companies who are running these big 7-figure, 8-figure per year companies. There's this guy that I'm friends with. They will give him 20% equity just to come into the business and improve it. That's how good is that that's how good he is at what he does. He's so damn good. People are giving him equity. His reputation is so high before he even comes into the business. They're giving him 20% equity for free on a 7-figure per year business, and he takes them to 8 to 9 figures. So if you are really, really good at something, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can name any terms and services because there will be unlimited demand. Every single person in the world in your niche will want to work with you. Of course, I'm trying to think of how I can actually turn this to a lot more scalable and automate it. But right now, I don't have that ability because I've not done that. So I am forced to be there. I'm forced to be working on it. I can automate a lot of it, but not all of it. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making that they are not valuing their time too well, even if they're very, very skilled. There was an editor that I was hiring who was so good that I actually had to tell them, dude, you need to stop working for me and find a much higher leverage position because right now you're making X amount per month. You should be charging. I actually talked to him. He was in the Philippines and he didn't. I honestly just wanted him to do well. He was super hardworking. I wanted him to keep working with me, but I said instead, why don't you just train people for me? And what I'll do is I'll give you to somebody much higher. And the deal that he structured with this person who had a few million subscribers getting millions of views per month, the way that I told him the structure is I said, hey, here's my work. I'm going to edit 10 videos for you for free. And if the amount of views that you get consistently are growing, if the retention rates are much longer, if I can help you with the titles and thumbnails to a much higher degree, then what we are going to do is that you are going to give me a percentage of the ad revenue that you make for these videos. And now he's making thousands and thousands of dollars per month. And in the Philippines, that is astronomical amounts of money. You guys can't even fathom how much money that is. He probably 4 or 5x how much money he was making working the exact same amount. And The reason I really just wanted to help him out because he was so damn good at what he did and he was wasting his time because I had him doing a very low skilled labor position at a fixed rate and that was not scalable. So he was still working really hard. It was wildly impressive. I just said, here's the deal that you should structure. You should try and get a percentage of the revenue that you are helping this YouTube channel get because you are so good at what you're doing. You are really going to increase the RPM, the money actually coming into the channel, as well as the average view duration, which increases the views. He was super, super good. So that is what you should be able to do if you are one of the best at what you are doing. You should be able to structure any sort of deal, then it's kind of getting creative with it. That's if you're an independent contractor. That is different than if you have some sort of set business. You need to have a certain price point that people can buy. And I also help people when I get into their business how to restructure their price points to have the maximum efficiency and maximum profit. But that's a part of my service. I'm helping other businesses, whereas my business is not something that you could just buy. You can't buy it on Amazon. You can't go online and search it up. You can't buy it. No, I need to, I'm providing a service that a very select few people can obtain. Therefore, I should be able to, if I was the best in the world, charge anything I wanted. I could be able to, like Russell Brunson, he charges $1 million if you want him to come in and actually fix your funnels in your business. That's a very high leverage opportunity. He can go into your business. He knows what you need to do. He can restructure it. And because he has so much brand recognition, so much credibility, because he's so good at what he does, you would have to pay him $1 million. Of course, I'm not there. So I'm trying to get creative with my structure to where if I really can help somebody's business, if I'm really, really good at what I'm doing, then we're going to see an outsized return where I'm not going to make $10,000 a month for them. I can make $100,000 a month if I increase their revenue enough. What I'm saying is there's no cap to how much money I can make with any client that I'm working with. That is the goal. I don't want there to be a cap. That keeps me working harder. And I tell them that. I'll say, hey, would you rather pay me 10 grand a month, which is a minimum amount that you would have to pay me for me to come in, or give me a percentage of the profits that I generate for you, which means you pay me nothing unless I perform, but you will just have to pay me a lot more money if I'm making you ridiculous amounts of money. And then I say, this is actually giving me the incentive to work super, super hard for your business and really maximize everything. And when you put that to an entrepreneur, they know it makes sense and they are all for it for the most part. So it's really easy to show people how to get the incentive aligned. And you can do this on very micro details unless you're working with some sort of mega corporation. It's not possible. But I would just consider at least thinking about how to structure deals, especially if you're some sort of independent contractor and you're good at what you're doing. If you're good at what you're doing, you should be able to charge anything for it. If you can't charge anything for it, that means you're probably not that good at it.